Hi folks, hope you're well. So, the last one was talking about the fact that there is a godly way to respond and not make it about you. Yeah. But the reality is that the way people are doing things is not just in a normal way, it's a highly demonic way of doing things. It's according to the world, it's according to the God of this world. And it shows who you're of. When you're responding in that way, it shows who you're of. If the way you want to, because basically, look, when people get offended, it's because they feel like they're being attacked in some way, right? It's okay. When people feel like they're attacked, what do? They attack back in some way. They attack back in some way. So therefore, that's where you get the baseless accusations. That's why you get people pointing at sin, or what they perceive as your sin. And that's why people don't go to God about it. If you go to God about it, then you're not reacting according to the devil. When you go to God about it, you're doing things His way, God's way. You're doing things according to His will. Well, as I say, the pastor of the Community Church of God. Talk about a weak prophetic man, really, when it comes down to it. An absolutely weak prophetic man, because now on a number of occasions he's had the opportunity to speak as God would, as Christ would, to his flock. Because if someone comes to you, if you're a pastor and you're doing things according to God, if a lot of people come up to you and says, "Oh, this person talks to me as if they're right and I'm wrong," then the correct thing to say is, maybe you are wrong. Did you listen to what the person was saying? In most cases, they'll have to say no. Well, why not? Maybe God sent someone to speak to you. You got offended? Learn to deal with it. Simple. Like you should with Mrs. B. He should with her. He basically, when I talked to him about what Mrs. B did, or has done, tried to ban me from church, he acknowledges that when I say that she should have dealt with it, and she should have been encouraged to deal with it, he says, yes, that's right, she should have been. He's one of them that won't bloody well encourage her to deal with it. Right? Now, basically, there's a lot of people in that church, and in the River Church, and Oasis Church, and whatever other church, that should be going into their pastors, into their churches on Sunday, going up front and demanding that pastor step down or be sacked. On the spot. If they would rather you go to hell than they offended you and people didn't like them in that church because of that, then for goodness sake, why do you want that person to be your pastor? Why would you want to keep them? It really did have to make me laugh, actually, when the person said that Jeff Oakes, that when they asked him to be their spiritual pastor and he said yes, I just had to laugh. This is a bloke who won't talk to you with truth. He will lie to you because he doesn't want to offend you, because he knows that people in that church will maybe not like him, and he gets sacked and has to go back to America because of that. So he will lie to you rather than telling you the truth. Therefore, maybe you're going to go to hell because of him lying to you, and you want him to be your spiritual father. What? Again, look, folks, this isn't Jeff's fault. If people are looking at what he's doing and saying that's good enough, that's okay, that's the level that we want to do things at, then he's only doing what they want. He's given them what they're asking, isn't he, really? He's providing what they're ordering. Now, if you go to a restaurant, a fast food restaurant, you can't blame the people there for cooking shit food. Of course it's shit food. It's a fast food restaurant. It's McDonald's or Burger King. It's going to be crap. It's cheap. It's mass produced. It's rubbish. Now, if you go to Poundland, you're buying stuff that isn't made with a lot of care. Because it costs £1, £2, £3, whatever. It's cheap. You get what you pay for. Right? That's going to be the case with your pastor as well. You get what you're willing to pay for. If you're saying that you don't want to work, you don't want to have to really think, you don't want to really change, then you're getting what you're paying for. That's down to you. These people that react in the way they react, it's because of the leaders in their church that they're doing this. But it's because they chose that type of leadership. They wanted it. This is what I'm saying. In hell, your own mind is going to talk to you because the reality is your own mind is going to know. You can't blame the pastor. You chose him. You chose to remain in that church. The signs were always there. For all these people, the signs were there. Always there. There was never a time when the signs weren't there. It is ridiculous that we have that situation where pastors will blame churchgoers, churchgoers will blame the pastors, and it carries on and on and on when nobody is responsible. It's just like right now, you've got, I was talking to someone the other day about the council, local council, and we were talking about the fact that they won't even grit the roads now. A lot of the roads and car parks, there's one of the car parks you have to pay to park in it, but it's not gritted. It's incredibly icy. And it's like, well, why are you paying to park there? It's ridiculous you have to pay to park there when in this sort of weather, the snowy weather, they don't actually grit it. But again, it's what the people want. They voted this council in. The councils don't just get in, they get voted in. You get what you vote for, what you want. The people we got in are the people that this area voted. The government we got in now is what the people wanted. We knew, for goodness sake, we knew. All the people in the country knew we've got a left-wing government that's been, quite left-wing. That's even been extreme left-wing. The leader, Keir Starmer, he was in support of the previous leaderships when they were anti-Israel, when they were anti-Jews. And he was supporting all of that then. So we know that there's a background of anti-Jewish hatred within these people. And we know that quite a lot of these people go on these protests against Israel. Well, and again, sorry, you voted for them. You wanted them in power. Yeah, okay, things are a bit poor right now. But again, that's what you voted for. You can't complain. Like the church, you can't complain. You get the leaders that you want. When you, as a church, are happy enough to go with the system that's been going for the last 50 years. About 50 years, right? Yeah. You're happy to continue going with that, even though it's shown that it's demonic, that there is no fruit. There is no godly fruit from it at all. Really. I mean, you might have the occasional, stuff somewhere in the middle of nowhere where maybe that church hasn't done things according to the system. But if churches that do things according to the system that's there now, where they use Bible college trained pastors, who use a system that they were trained to use in the Bible college rather than a system that God has told them to use. Because people assume, yeah, God's big enough. If he wants a different system, he can tell the Bible colleges to change it. Right? No. No. It's like, if God was big enough, could he have forced the Jews not to have a king? No. He told them not to. He told them they had him. They didn't need a king. They went to the king, so he said, okay, I'll move out of the way. The church said they wanted to do things according to the world, so God said, okay, I'll move out of the way. And here we are. If you want it changed, change it. There you go. You take care. God bless. Bye.